What's up, folks? It's your boy Derek Stroman. We're back for another episode of the Speak Your Mind show. It's going to be great as always. Got another fabulous guest. We lining them up left and right. I'm telling you, man, like get ready, y'all, because this new year, 2024, is going to be insane. Uh, the strike is over. Okay, the Hollywood strike is over with the Writers Guild and all the actors. They worked out something. We don't know what those details are. I'm hoping maybe our guest tonight can tell us a little bit about what's going on in Hollywood. But we're going to find out. So, y'all stand by for a second here. Let me get this set up properly, ready to go. All right. And y'all know how I like to do. The show begins now. What's happening, everybody? I am back, as you can see. I got my Beanie right there. She's ready to jump in on this feed as we are talking about something big that's happened recently, effective today. And I have somebody who is in Hollywood right now. Pretty excited about the recent turn of events, and I'm gonna go ahead and bring him on. That gentleman, ladies and gentlemen, goes by the name of Charles D. Clark. What's going on, Charles?
What's up, my brother? How you doing?
I'm all right. I'm all right. And, I'm ready to just ground running. I feel like the road runner right now. Talking to you, show. Well, first and foremost, let me introduce you properly to the audience. Again, Hollywood, you are, sir. You've been on these sets. You've been around some major directors, 50 Cent productions, Empire, Power. Introduce yourself, Mr. Charles D. Clark.
Hello, everybody. My name is Charles D. Clark. I am a professional SAG-AFTRA actor. I've also done what I call transformational speaking. Starting to learn production, producing as well, and just here to change one life at a time through the arts and with my testimony. And I'm honored to be on this wonderful platform.
Yeah, appreciate that. Pleasure's all mine to have you. It's pretty wild the last few months, right? You guys have been out of work for a while, and it's people don't understand, like, they have they go to work every day, they get up in the morning, they punch a clock, but to be in Hollywood and have a strike going on, how tough is that for you guys trying to find work when you can't go get a regular job? You could be called to duty as soon as the strike has been lifted. Would get lifted.
I think being transparent about different actors, everybody's life is different. Even before the SAG strike, there were still some actors who actually working a second job or, a side hustle, because people have this thing about because you're in Hollywood, you're super rich or got all this money. And the truth of the matter is that a lot of actors it doesn't have what people think we have. It's a blessing. It's a challenge because acting is not for everybody. The film industry is not for everybody. So with this strike, you expect it to be, about actors and actresses just, depressed and, dealing with there's going to be no more work or work that they had planned. Is it going to be, dropped because of the, production being set back from the strike? There's so many things, but honestly, what I saw the negotiating committee fighting for us as actors, fighting for the SAG-AFTRA family as a whole. What I saw was people going around outside of SAG, advocating, promoting the wellness and worthiness that we as actors and artists, and even with the directors and producers, and even from the writers' strike, the writers' guild department, because all those components is what makes great cinema, whether it's TV or film. So we get to see the unity and how we stand together and we fight for what's ours because, during the pandemic, we really saw the importance of the arts. Everybody was at home. Most of the people, didn't even go out because, of the pandemic. So what did they have? They had a couple of Netflix shows or, Disney, Paramount, Starts, whatever, all these major, streaming services. And there was no movie theaters, big screens. So everything was at home. And we kept a lot of people sane, away from the pandemic and the thoughts of the pandemic. The responsibility of an artist is a responsibility of anybody in the film industry, no matter what level that you're on. It comes with a lot of sacrifice from family, from your circle, even from yourself. So, but wholeheartedly, as we give God the glory, because God is in everything. No matter how big you think you are, how tough you think you are, God is the ultimate. And because that we fought like crazy, we won. And I don't know the specifics yet. I'm waiting to hear from Sad to give all us the details. What I do know is that it's more than $1 billion, 3-year deal for the contract. The contract is 3 times more than the original contract. This was by far historical because it's the longest strike ever in Hollywood. I saw that there would be an increase in more amenities for the healthcare plan. So yeah, I mean, there's so much to it that we fought for. So as soon as most likely, SAG is going to put a lot of that stuff out. So I don't want to speak too much on it because I don't know the specifics. I know we won. We got a bigger contract. They really made it to where it's artists that we can continue to create our, masterpieces for the audience where we can engage in creativity. Because being an actor is not just being in front of a camera. You on TV, you might see 2 or 3 people in the scene, and the scene might be 15 to 20 seconds. Yeah, but it took hours, different multiple shots on the other side of that screen that people don't see. You got the whole crew there, sound, gaffy, light. You got the background, the extras. You got, if you're doing the outside scene, you got the bystanders, and then you got people outside who try to take pictures or they standing in the shots. So you got to reset the whole thing. So there's so many things that's involved in just what the audience know. But then at the end of the day, just like anything else, if you love something and you're passionate about it, you're gonna be good at it or you're gonna get better at it. So SAG-AFTRA family, we back. You ready?
That is great. I love it.
Hey, brother, how you doing?
Yeah, I was about to say we bring in Johnny. Go ahead, Johnny.
It's a pleasure, man. I'm glad I'm here with you guys. Does anybody else hear an echo?
We have an echo for whatever reason. He doesn't hear it. Hey, audience, do you guys hear feedback from Johnny and I? Just give a quick pause. Charles, you seem fine.
Yep. And shout out to Troy for making this connection for the interview. Okay, you gotta give credit where credit is due. So thank you, brother Troy, for this interview and connecting us brothers together. So
Okay, so yeah, thanks, Tracy, by the way. So yes, Tracy, yes, he hears he hears the echo, and you are good. Johnny and I, for whatever reason, getting a lot of feedback. Um, I tell you what, I know you hear. Again, I'm not trying to keep. This got to be pretty bad. Do you hear that at all?
I can hear it now.
You do. All right. Do me a favor, Charles. Call me back. Let me make sure that's not a feed of yours. Johnny and I are going to stay on. Try to log back into the link, please.
Okay, so I'll leave to come back in.
Yeah, you need to come back in. Okay. Thank you. Johnny.
Hey.
Yeah, that was coming from his phone.
Let me figure out what I'm doing here.
You're good as far as the sound. I mean, it was coming from his phone somehow, because I don't hear anything now, and you sound fine. I sound fine. Somebody has to mute the mic. What's up, George? How you doing, man? Thanks for watching the show. Sorry we're having some technical issues here. Waiting on Charles to get back in. All right, we just lost Johnny. I know it's weird because Charles was good. I know. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. It's such an interesting topic too that we're experiencing this while we're. What's up, Chris? Johnny.
All right. How we doing?
You sound fine. It had to do with his phone, I'm guessing, because we sound fine now. And when he was on, both of us were echoing. I thought it might have been my mixer, but it's not, because you were echoing too, and that's your own phone. So it was something to do with his phone. When he calls back, we'll see. But while we're waiting for Charles to get back in, I want to give a shout out to our Johnny's been sponsoring these guys, or they've been sponsoring him for a long time. Gifty Garage in the building. Look at it there. I am an official Gifty Garage.
Let me see that. Wow. GiftyGarage.com. GiftyGarage.com now.
.com now. And my promo.
I mean, Johnny Laing. Hey, what time is that? Forget your promo code for a second. I'm so out of the loop with, and I love Gifty Garage, and they send me stuff all the time. I love Gifty Garage, GiftyGarage.com. They're amazing people. I'm just terrible. You know this, Derek. I mean, I'm still handing out 25% discount codes, and I'm sure our exalted leader Stacy Sense is like, I'm gonna kill that motherfucker.
Hey,
give 25% off that son bitch.
Hey, I'm sorry. No, but listen, Doug said, I talked to him today. Doug said he was honoring it. He said it's been 15% forever. He said, but in the very beginning when they started, it was 25%. So they changed, and you
and I just kept fucking rolling.
You kept going with the 25%, but they said when somebody tries to make a purchase, they honored it because you were saying it. But yes, it is.
I mean, as long as we're talking about Gifty Garage, what the hell? Gifty Garage, goddammit.
So, hey, what's the slogan? Hold on. I got it written.
Whoa. Before we do the slogan, you gotta talk about Gifty Garage.
Oh yeah. So anyway,
you have to talk about it.
I'm trying. You interrupted me when I was trying.
Pardon me. Guy's got a sponsor. All of a sudden, he's all uppity.
Yeah, you see, I got my Germany shirt. Hey, look, I am wearing Gifty Garage gear right now.
And he's got his driving hat on.
That's right. Hey, look, we got Charles back. Let's see if we got a better connection, y'all. The comments are coming in. Hey, Charles, we're about to bring you back in, brother. Let's see here.
All right.
Hey. Oh, no, it's still there. But you talk, Johnny. Say something.
Yeah, my soul. Anyway, I'm just going to deal with this because I got to, what Charles was talking about the strike and all that. We kind of were talking about that when we were talking about Back to the Future. So remember Back to the Future, and it was the guy who was the father, Mr. McFly, and then in the second movie, he didn't like where the script was going, so he left the production, and then they put another guy in his place and put a mask on him or some prosthetic, facial features, and he went on. And then the other, what's the guy's name? Crispin Glover. Crispin Glover was Marty McFly's father in the first movie. Second movie and beyond, Crispin Glover wasn't in it because he didn't like what was going on. And plus, everybody else was getting paid all this money. He was like, fuck this, I'm out of here. So, but anyway, they used his likeness, and he sued him and won. And that's kind of what's happening, but like with AI and stuff like that right now. Is that what is going on, Charles?
Yeah, because they want to use our likeness in films, but we're not getting paid for it. And what they were saying was that I think I was hearing Alec Baldwin saying on Instagram Live is that, okay, if you're gonna do AI, make it a complete AI movie. You can't do a movie that's what he call human based. Either you're gonna use us or not, because we actually study for our craft. We actually sacrifice for our craft. We have to put all this work in. AI doesn't do anything. So you can't mix those types of complexities together and expect for us to stand and say, okay, well, you know what? Oh, wow, that looks like Derek's face. That looks like Johnny's face. But y'all not getting paid for it. And it's your face. You see the features. You see y'all in the action movies or a dramatic AI. But where's that dramatic check? Where's the AI check? Where's the AI check? Yeah. Create a likeness of us as actors, then you can damn well create a check to get paid for it.
And that's only fair.
And just for the record, Bones is watching this feed. We interviewed, hey Charles, we interviewed Bones. Bones plays Bruce in the HBO series Euphoria, and we interviewed him.
What's up, SAG fam?
Yeah, that's right. SAG fam in the building. But we were talking about this, and you're basically picking up the next day, because yesterday the strike wasn't lifted yet. Today it is. So carry on, brother.
That's fast, because it was funny. We were talking about it last night, and Bones was like, "Yeah, this thing, man." He said he felt like it was really close to being, settled, and then bam, here we are, and it's done.
Yeah, I mean, even I thought it was going to be until at least February, March of next year. I mean, the way things was looking, because I think one of the guys, and don't quote me per word, but it was along the lines of he was saying that one of the big people that we was against, that we were weighed out. And when we as actors start losing our houses and everything else, we'll basically come around. And to me, that was such a disgraceful thing to say when we're making all this money for people. Now, and me, I'm gonna keep it real. I don't pull no punches. I'm not a big time actor. Okay. I'm rising. I've been in the game for almost 15 years. I'm proud of what I've accomplished thus far, one step at a time. And I'm saying this for this reason, is that unless you're making buku money or a very, very great living from this, you're going to be impacted more. You know what I mean? When you have things that you used to buying in right at the bare minimum, and then SAG goes, well, you can't work. He's like, oh my God, I just bought this house, or I just bought this car. I just bought something for my kids, when they going to college. I didn't pay for it yet. I'd have put something on it, but now we're on strike. What I do to 7 months? Well, guess what? If you got savings, you still got to pay bills. Yeah. You still got to eat. You got to study your craft. And also shout out to all of the acting classes. And there's so many of us, I'm going to say all of them, for giving discounts to SAG actors.
Oh, wow.
So they can, not all of them there, but a lot of them did. And that's what it comes down. Yeah. And that's what it comes down when it comes down to me. What I did was I used this time wisely. Getting back, I'm on my cut lean cycle now. I always been this, big, bulky, Suge Knight type looking, or Big Debo. But I realized one thing when I, during the strike, is that I wanted to bring back I want to say a new version of me, because I was like that before, I start putting on size, and then we get certain roles that tell you, hey, like Empire, for instance. But I was dropping weight during our break. They literally hit me up and says, hey, we need for you to put that weight back on because of continuity. And these are some of the things you have to go through as an actor, you know.
I always wondered that. Carry on.
Yeah. But I'm blessed to have a great support system. I'm blessed to to able to it was times where it was several SAG people who was very depressed. I'm not gonna call them names because it's confidential, but I was there for them as far as praying with them, talking to them. Men, you gotta be there for each other because your brother in Christ, your sister in Christ.
That's just like being laid off from a steel mill, just like the same stuff.
Exactly. And these are the times when we're supposed to come together. The most cowardly thing you can do, or one of the most cowardly things you can do, is trample on someone who's down.
Yep.
I think to me that's one of the most disgusting, disgraceful things that you can do.
Yep.
I don't care how much money you have. I don't care if you win Oscars or Emmys. I don't care if you're not even just in Hollywood, just in general. If you have the audacity to beat down on someone who's already down, and which I saw a lot of. I saw a lot of it during the strike. And I'm just like, wow, so-called Christian folks, so-called people about unity and all this stuff. But when the heat turns up, the realness comes out.
Family of the industry.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So, I'm glad that we made it through. Some people got hit harder than others. Mm-hmm. Some people were able to maintain. I'm blessed. But you just never know because we didn't know when the strike was coming. We didn't see it coming. Mm-hmm. It started with the writers first, and then it started with us. The reality of it is, though, is that you can't have one without the other. If nobody's writing, you can't act it out. And if you're writing it, you're gonna have the actors to bring it to life. So we needed each other. So kudos to the WGA strike committee team for their victory first, and then also to our negotiating committee and lawyers and like I said, everybody. We had people worldwide that was advocating for us who wasn't even nowhere near SAG. They did it because we entertained them. They did it because we give so much for their pleasure of cinematic.
Well, I mean, look, think about it like this. I mean, what do we do in our off time? Well, I mean, actually, Derek and I don't really have a lot of off time, but what do we do in our off time? I mean, I'm gonna watch me some Empire. I'm gonna watch me some Criminal Minds or some Martin or whatever strikes my fancy as a consumer, and that's basically what it is. You guys are what make our end of the day better.
Much better.
Thank you for that. And that's true. And that's the thing. I had a conversation with a couple of my colleagues. We were talking about even when SAG was happening, you had some of the people who just got into SAG or been there for a little bit. Maybe I call it, maybe close to 2 years. Not too long. My point being is that what I learned from my mentors, from A-listers on down, is opportunity has no size. It has an objective. Mm-hmm. And I take Power, for instance, even with Empire, those two. I remember when I did Empire, I drove to Chicago 8 times, less than 2 months. It was part of like close to 60. Well, wow. It was about 40, maybe 45 days. It was under 2 months. And the 8th time I got upgraded. Now, it led to an upgrade. My point being is that I was already doing independent films. I was already doing TV One, something on BET. Now this up for Hulu.
You've been in a lot of stuff.
Yeah, but what the I ain't gonna say the secret is. To me, it's common sense. People think that if I don't get this certain role, then it's not get this certain pizzazz to it. I don't want it. I've always been the person that you give me a pebble, I'm gonna treat it like it's a mountain. Mm-hmm. I've gotten roles to where it was that quick. I got some where it's longer, and people will ask me, "Well, Charles, why would you take a role that small when you can do so much more? And I said, because I've seen people blow up off the smallest roles, that one moment. And, with Power wasn't no big role, big scene, but it was an important scene because the way they did it, it made me like, who is this guy coming on the scene? Who was the guy that Vic was looking at and, saying, Buck, 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 you know what I mean? Because he was looking at me. Something that can be set up for season 3. But I can say that I've been on 2 of the most powerful shows that was rivals. Empire and Power at that time was the top shows ever, and it was the biggest rival in the eyes of the media. I always loved Power, even when I was on Empire. But you think they're gonna let somebody on Power? Come on, you can't do that. That's like slap in the face. But we know what happened. We know what happened with Justin Smollett. I'm not gonna even get into that. They brought it into Empire, and I said, well, you know what? I at least want to show my face on Power, God. Let me get in there like I did Empire. And they asked him some people from Empire or production who worked on Power, and they hit me up, says, hey, basically, I don't know, I can't remember word for word, but they were just saying, hey, basically, we have like a little small scene, a bouncer scene that could potentially be something, or we can always bring it back even in next season. And I drove all the way to Chicago, 13 hours, just because I knew it was Power. Joseph Sikora already had shouted me out, which I had posted on my Facebook stuff, you know what I mean? So I hope to see you on set, which I didn't get a chance to meet him. I saw him briefly, but I didn't get a chance to meet him because of the set scenery. But you have to plant the seed. I've never seen someone plant a flower and then expect the flower to grow, because if it's already grown, then what's the purpose of planting, right? So it has to be a seed. Exactly. So you can't go on a set and say, hey, I'm an actor, I need special treatment. I am there to work. Yes, I'm glad to work around some of the biggest stars and the biggest, because that's where I want to be, and that's where I'm going. But make no mistake, I don't get into all of the, oh my God, I can't do my job, or I'm sober. No, I have a respectable duty to do, to put in the best to my ability to bring the arts to life, with some of the best people. And I can say that Empire, and to this day, is my foot in the door of understanding what Hollywood was really about. Yeah, Taraji, Terrence, Forrest Whitaker, Felicia Rashad. I mean, I'm running these people.
Everybody.
I'm like, this is Cosby's mom.
Wow.
This is Cosby's mom.
They've been acting since the beginning of the time, it seems like.
Come on, Terrence Howard, Taraji, them two, the anchors. Exhibit. Come on. I mean, he's a rapping legend, and his acting. I mean, remember, people don't realize Exhibit first big introduction to Hollywood as an actor. He was along with someone else who's right there, probably the most famous actor, or one of the top famous of all time, and that's Dwayne Johnson.
Oh, The Rock.
Remember
future president of the United States.
Hey, there you go. So you remember him and Exhibit? I think it was called a Gridiron Gang.
Gridiron Gang.
Yeah, that was their first, together. So exactly. So
he was one of his coaches or something. He was
the assistant coach for the juvenile football team, based on a true story. I thought it should win an Oscar for real. I mean, it was.
Yeah, that was a really good one. That movie will be embedded in your mind. Like, I never thought Gridiron Gang would be stuck in my head like that. Some of those scenes were so vivid, and the acting was great.
I can relate to it all day. What's up, Bob? I see my brother Bob.
Yeah, do you know Bob?
Too. Yes, yeah. Great guy.
Yeah, well, he's I've been like not been able to read the comments. We've been enthralled by everything that you're saying.
Yeah,
there's so much
good conversation.
There's so much I want to say.
Well, I would like to do this. So I won't forget. Thank y'all too for having me here, because what happens is that I know a lot of actors or anybody in the industry, they feel like it's that they should be privileged to get an interview. And the way I look at this right here is that if you're requesting me to be on your platform, that means there's something about me that you see that will bring some kind of light to the show, as will bring light to what I'm doing. Mm-hmm. And I tell all the time, be grateful. It don't have to be a big time show on prime time. I'm more of a down to earth type of guy, but I'm more as far as an artist, because I've never wanted to be someone to think I'm better than anybody else. I'm the person, if I get to the finish line first, I'm not going to taunt you and be like, oh, look at me, I'm here. I'm going to wait until you come near me. We're going to cross the finish line together. And if you can't make it, I'm strong enough to come and get you and put you on my back, and we're going together. You know,
love it.
If that's not,
sounds like me and you, Derek.
It sounds like, well, that's exactly why
the whole group of people that we associate ourselves with. Look, I mean, I'm very new to all of this. I mean, the first thing I ever did was with Angel Williams in Reversed Freedom. So I mean, I'm that new at this, but I've been lucky to have guys like Derek and more that have kind of taken me by the hand and are showing me. Bones, one of them. Bobby Heisler's my cousin and my godfather. I mean, he's a guy that's been in everything. You know what I mean? So that's the kind of stuff that's what it's about. You know what I mean? Like you said, if I can't make it or you can't make it, I'm gonna come get you.
Yeah. That's what I mean. And you have to be spiritually strategic. I've learned that because everybody is meant to be helped. Some people are made to be an anchor to stop you from where you're going in your purpose. However, that's where the sermon comes in at, and that's where prayer. Look, like I tell anybody, I don't care what platform I'm on, I'm gonna give it to you real. I'm far from perfect. Yeah, like I said, I've said it live on video many times. I did it at speaking conferences that I've attended in the past. I come from pain. Father died when I was at a young age at 5, going on 6. Started gang banging, street life, became a high-end goon enforcer, until I got into my early 20s, and I spent most of that straight, no break, in federal prison. So I've seen things, been involved in things. I say thank God he's a forgiving God. Because if he wasn't, I would have had a first-class ticket straight to hell. I can tell you that now. And when I tell people, when you tell your testimony, tell it to be real about it. Don't try to soup it up and, well, it might be too great. No, tell it what it is. That's what it's made for. I'm not here to impress nobody. I'm not here for the attention of myself. I'm here to give God his glory. But don't get it twisted. I have people in my circle that I love, like any man would. You have to be gangster for that. And if anybody that messes with anybody that I love, then they're going to see the other side of me. I'm still a man of God, but I'm also a protector. And I've been there and done that. When people tell me about this life and, oh, I'm bad, man, I can see right through all of that. I've been around all of that. Mm-hmm. My stuff is public. I'm not here for that. I'm here to bring peace. I'm here to see people win. When I see other people win, it brings me joy. If you look at a lot of my posts, besides giving God the glory, I always tell people, and remember, all of you are amazing superstars. I'm super proud of all of you. I do that 99% of the time. Let's go look at my posts. I acknowledge people.
Yeah. I went through your I scrolled you and all positive.
Yeah.
Hey, stalk on, bro. But that's what it's about. And to you, brother Johnny, and Derek, you as well. But I know because Johnny said he just got into this.
Yeah. He did.
Never let anyone tell you lack thereof of your purpose because you just got started. Being started in your purpose doesn't mean that you don't deserve it. It means you have to learn it. Remember that. So,
I appreciate that
because people will weigh you down. People will who's that?
Melvin said y'all got a similar background. Okay, he listened to what you're saying.
Yeah. Okay, bro. Much love to you, man. Much love to you.
Yeah, he's been through the ropes too, the ringer, if you will.
Yeah,
he was also a gangbanger and all that.
Man, look, let me tell you something. People ask me, do I regret the things that I've been through and the things that I've experienced? That's kind of a hard question for me to answer, so I answer it the best way that I can. Because everything's not a yes or a no question. It's just not. Life is not a yes or a no. There's things you have to go through. I regret the things that I know I could have changed if I knew what I knew now, but I didn't because the devil had me. But if I did know what I was doing at the time and wasn't so congested with evil, I would have changed it. I can honestly say that now. What I don't regret is the generalization of my testimony. Somebody have to go through and survive to tell to the person who can't survive. That's the whole point of a testimony. For instance, I know, and I'm not knocking nobody who goes to, these speaking schools and stuff. Everybody have a hustle, good or bad. But when you talk about people in the streets on drugs, selling drugs, gangbangers, robbing, people who barely got enough food to eat, got their kids to feed, and they have no opportunities. And when someone comes to them who've never been in the streets, who've never been to prison, who never experienced those accolades of the developed street life, the first thing they're gonna say, "How do you know?" I don't want to hear about your bachelor's degree. I don't hear about all these certifications and awards you won. How do you know what I'm going through? How can you relate? And if you have no real life experience, they will look at you, and you might be their next victim, even for insulting them.
Yep.
When they come, when the youngsters come to me, and when I talk to them, and when they realize, oh my God, he understands. I'm like, yeah.
Been through it.
I tell them, I've done the time for you to tell you so you won't have to do the time. So now I'm telling you, don't insult me. I did the time for you. I've been in the drive-bys for you. You ain't got to go this route.
That's the toughest thing. Toughest thing of being in the position that you're in. And you have the knowledge, you have the experience. Like you said, you've experienced the pain. And the hardest thing for a guy in that situation is passing that knowledge on. Not for you to be able to express it or attempt to pass it on, but the youth and like you said, and like you said, I know damn well because I've been a young man many years ago myself. We all had that guy that was like you, and it was like, come on, man, I've been there. I promise you, what's going to happen to you is what's happened to me, and hopefully you make it out of the other side like I am now, but most likely no. And the toughest part is, like you said just a couple of minutes ago, you were too caught up in the evil. You were too caught up in with the devil, whatever that is for everyone else that has been in your situation. The ones that are there, it's hard to understand that knowledge and that love and that caring that you have because you've been there. And that has got to be tough.
I tell somebody, I tell people all the time, do you send a fisherman to fix your car?
Nope.
Unless he got to fix the car and he's just fishing. My point being with that is this right here. You ask the right questions, you get the right answer. If I see a fisherman, I'm not going to assume that, oh man, well he's a fisherman. He don't work on no cars. He's been out here trying to catch some catfish. I got to find a mechanic. Then you go to a mechanic and you say, hey, can you fix my car? And he's like, well, I ain't the best mechanic. Well, who is? Well, the guy, he's going fishing, but he'll be back. And you look, so the assumptions. But there's another side of that. He can very well be a guy who knows how to fish and can't fix nothing. The reason why I'm saying these things is that life is about reaction, responses, questions being answered. That's what it's about. And people who see me now, I could be that very guy who's going fishing, and a young person look at me who's like, oh, he's fishing. He don't know about no streets, about no gangbanging, about no, brains on the wall smelling like hot antifreeze. He don't know about this stuff. He don't know about nobody, getting super cold when they running because they think, it's cold outside, not realizing they've been shot in the summertime. So why is he cold? He don't know nothing about that. Yeah, he's a fisherman. Ask me though, and I can tell you something. I can pull more things out the water than just fish.
That's right.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
And that's my testimony and my experience. But that's the problem. We got too many fishermen out here, and I'm gonna go to the fish thing for a minute. But we got too many fishermen out here who say they can fix a car, and they can't. Mm-hmm. All they can do is simply fish.
It's fish.
You got me?
Too much fishermen, not mechanics.
If you really listen to the story, I'm telling you.
Oh, I'll listen.
Oh yeah, there you go.
I got it.
So
but, it's deep, and I'll be honest with you. I was not expecting you to be as composed as you are. I'm talking about as being as deep and I guess the word is
he's an actor.
Well,
actors overthink. That's their job.
Yeah, but this is him. He ain't talking about nothing right now that I'm trying to put this man, and I want to talk about you and what you've done in this industry for a little bit here, and because I'm looking at it on my screen, you've got 47 actor credits. You've been in the House of Cards, okay? You've been in something called Volk of the Origin, excuse me. So you've even got 3. One second, let me unmute you. My fault. You got 3 producer credits as well. So you have been saying these things that you're telling us right now to a lot of people in Hollywood, probably for a little while now. You said about 15 years, right?
Hey, good on 15. Actually, when you talk about Volkov Origin, that's one of the big ones that I was in. Loved it. It's on all the streaming channels. Shout out to George, Dibble, and Candace. George is like my brother. Candace is his wife. The Queen Productions. I actually won my first major award as a producer under George.
What's the Telly Award?
So, Telly Award is more about the creative side, like the producer side. Animation. You know what I mean? Social media. You know what I mean? It's the creativity of just pure creativity. Basically, to put it in a nutshell. So, if you created like a commercial, or if you create something like the NAACP, if you do, even podcasts can win, Telly Awards because you're creating, that type of media. So I got it as one of the producers for Volkov, so that the baby to act in it and star in it and get a Telly Award.
That's what Johnny's talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I've I got out of prison February 18, 2009, and I landed my first role in independent film the same year. And a lot of people know how I got into acting. A lot of people don't. So for the ones that don't, to summarize in a nutshell, my grandmother, rest in peace, Lucille Haley Clark, she was definitely like my second mom. She came to visit me in prison. And it was probably like a year and a half or so before for me getting out. And when she came, my aunt Kay, and my Uncle Bubba, rest in peace. He just went home with the Lord from a cancer fight. Joe Wilson Clark. So I want to pay respects to him, who I love very much as well. And my Aunt Kay and my Uncle Bubba brought my grandma to visit me. So as I was going to my grandma, mind you, I haven't seen my grandmother the whole time I've been locked up. I already got years in. That's my first time seeing her. She's still the same beautiful Indian, silver's lining hair, dark black eyebrows. Trey, we got it with the Clarks. So eyebrows never get gray. But my aunt said, "Look, you basically, your grandma is dying. She got the dementia. She got several brain tumors. My grandma didn't believe anybody cutting up on her. If God ain't gonna remove it, then it was meant to be.
It was meant to be.
So she was like, whatever she thinking, you have to go by that, because if you make her think anything different, it'll put a strain on her condition."
Yeah.
My grandmother thought I was my dad. That's an older son who died in 1987, but she thought I was him because we was just alike. For that whole almost 3 hours in the visitor room, I had to act like my dad. So everything I remember about my dad growing up, people telling me about, even my grandma was telling me about my dad. I remember all those things. So when she would say something, I knew how to respond, and it was believable to her.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when my grandmother left, where we took a picture, and then when she left, the CO always, do a check, make sure you got no contraband or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And this CO in particular didn't do that. And it was one of the COs that I really didn't get along with. But that day, that evening, he put me to the side. He said, I know you ain't got nothing. He said, I don't know what you plan on doing when you get out of here, but you need to be an actor. He said, what I just saw was an Oscar moment. For you to become your dad, which is already painful. I'm looking to the eyes of my grandma who's died in front of my face.
Yeah.
That was heavy. And when I got out of prison and went to my grandmother's house for the first time, I went to a get together with my friend, and this guy came to me from a production company and says, "Man, you'd be perfect for a role that I have. I mean, the way we describe the physique and the look, and I'm watching how you interact." He said, "It's a small role, but we want you." I went there. Shout out to Brian Ness for New Wave Productions. I met somebody who knew Brian, who owned New Wave Productions. And my first role was CJ. And my first time on set, how people speak about a natural high, the dopamines and the endorphins.
That runner's high.
Oh man! And to this day, you're in light, camera, action, 86 this. You know what I mean? Back to 3. Roll sound, and everything's becoming like a new language that I'm loving. And you start talking to people, and at first people, wait, Charles, if you're not in LA, you're not in New York, it's hard to be an actor, or you got to know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody. Well, Charles, you got a criminal record, blah, 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 it might be kind of hard. I'm just like, Danny Trezio came out of prison and became one of the biggest Latino stars of all time.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just like, what do a criminal record have to do with acting? Yes, I've done some bad things, but it was nothing like I raped somebody or child molestation, none of that crazy mess.
Mm-hmm.
I was in the streets. I was a goon enforcer. And I look back at it now. I was a goon enforcer in the streets, and I became one of the biggest goon enforcers in Hollywood at the time because I was on Empire's #1 goon with Exhibit. Then I did how many detective roles on the ID channel on TV1. But I used to be a criminal. And how did I get how did that happen? I'm gonna show you how God
I love
works.
it, man.
I'm gonna show you how God worked. My first time doing a detective role for TV1. No, ID channel. Take it back. It was ID channel. Take it back. ID channel. This guy was trying to do an interrogation, and he just couldn't remember the lines. He was messing up. He was fumbling. And I was detective number 4. So they had 2 main detectives, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm this big, swole guy, suit on. I'm ready, because I've lived this life.
Yep.
They finally called me, and the director says, "I hope that you are how you say? I hope you to shine a light to the set or something." He was something along those lines. He says, "Man," he said, "like you need to be a prison guard." Talking about being the detective. And I was like, okay. So, I just brush it over. He showed me the lines, and I'm looking, and I'm just like, all right. Give it back to him. First take, killed it.
Wow.
And he asked me, he says, "How do you do this so well?" I said, "Because before God changed my life, I sat at that table many times."
Can I ask you this? So Bones was explaining to us, and that's again Melvin Bones Estes. He was explaining to us a role that it's a script that he's reading where he has to be a Russian, and it's a lot of dialogue amongst people. So not only does he have to remember his lines, he has to remember when to come in a conversation,
and the complete change of who he is too. By the way,
right. So how difficult is that to study Hollywood scripts?
It's very And when I say difficult, it doesn't. I don't want to say it to anyone who's dreaming of being an actor or getting into business. The fact of the matter is that you're not just have to remember your lines, but you have to remember the lines of your scene partner. So yeah, the cue, you have to know the cue. That's why I tell people that when they say, "Oh, I'm so talented, I was born for this," doesn't mean anything. You have to whatever talent that you think you have or you do have, you have to take classes. If you can't afford classes, go on YouTube, watch videos. They got to do something to keep your craft up. But yes, that's one of the things we learned in Scene Study 101 in one of the acting schools I went to about cross-examination your scene partner, knowing their emotions, what makes them tick. Like they're your best friend, because you have to understand their reaction in order to bring a natural reaction from what you're doing when you're cross conveying the lines. Because some of the lines is meant for to be stepped on. If you get into an argument, you're not gonna be like, "Ba ba ba ba," he stopped. "Ba ba ba ba," he stopped. When you argue, don't people talk over each other? So it has to be in that moment. And the script is a blueprint. Yes, there are some things, well, because every production is different. I know some productions where they do a script, maybe 60% of it word for word, other 40%. They kind of like people act, improv a little bit, acting out, because that's a real moment. So yeah, what he's doing, and he's doing another language, another nationality.
Right, Russian. I mean, that would be tough to be able to do that, I would think.
And you know what? Kudos to him. I respect that, because the only way you're going to be a great actor, the only way you're going to be a great artist is do the things that challenge you. That's why I started. I could play a bad boy role great. I lived that life, but I wanted to branch out. I want to be the guy next door. Play a pastor. Play something that people don't think I can play, because I'm
I say it all the time.
Yeah. So the 3 movies I got coming out, Dark 48. Shout out to Sheree McKay. She's a director, producer, writer, and actress as well. Phenomenal in all those areas. She gave me a nice cameo in that movie as a judge. Mm-hmm. I also another movie.
Would you ever have thought, in pardon interruption, that such a big guy could play so many different various roles? A lot of times they would take a gentleman like you and just say, "Oh, but he's like you said, he's got to be a bouncer, he's got to be a gang member, he's always played a tough guy role." But you're saying a lot of these roles you've played are not your prototypical roles. You're having to step outside of yourself and be somebody different.
And the fact is, with conversation, that's why I say networking is important. With conversation, people say like, "Wow, wait a minute, you can really do this. You can probably do this." I'm like, "Yeah, just give me a shot." I say, I don't want to be put in a box. You know what I mean? And I understand when people speak about stereotyping in Hollywood. I get that. Sometimes that's a great thing. You got people who just great at playing villains, and they get paid good for it. That's their go-to guy. They stay working. So I don't knock nobody hustle or journey. I respect people, what they're doing. If acting is just like the boxing ring. Until you get into the ring, nobody can really say anything. It takes heart to be in front of, not just on set, but people are worldwide. You have criticism. Some people might think, "Oh, this person, I didn't like that you met them. Oh, he was marvelous. Oh, she was okay." You'll get all of that. You have to have tough skin. But the fact of the remain is, though, how many people can say they've been around so many legends at once, learning from them, eating across the table from them, just absorbing things you can't even get in the acting school. You be on set, you listen to Terrence Howard talking, and I think it was one of the interviews I was telling somebody, we was a scene where we was inside the studio, and I'm sitting right here, Demi Moore, Terrence Howard, Exhibit, carrying on a conversation as if
I can't believe it. I'm still blown away.
Like we're at the mall and at the food court. I'm watching them. I grew up watching them, and I'm just like, yo.
Oh my God!
It's I get chills every time, and that's not with them, but everybody that I've been around. Even on the Righteous Gemstones, I had a little part, playing the deacon. Greg Allen Williams. I mean, come on, he's a a legend, always from Baywatch. John Goodman, Danny McBride. I mean, it's
Hey, Charles,
it's a blessing.
I have been trying since we've been talking to bring up this screen of all these movies that you've been in, and if these guys could actually see this list, I'm gonna bring it in one more time. I just gotta people. I'm not sure they really understand the gravity of what you've been doing all these years.
You know what it is? It's because all those roles you see are not big roles. So it's being consistent, being relevant.
Look, I'm scrolling all his movies, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that list.
It's been a journey.
This man has been, and mind you, these are episodes. If you look to the right, these are series. The ones that you see, the numbers beside and episodes, of course, they're series running. That's a lot of production. So I'm gonna get out of there real quick. But yeah, man. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm still blown away.
And you know what? With me, and I tell people all the time, I'm just grateful. I'm grateful that I was able to be in it this long. I'm grateful for all opportunities, no opportunities, big or small. I probably did more featured roles than anything, but those roles led to other things, other connections. And when I have some of the biggest people of all time in the industry, people that won Oscars, Emmys, people that I've talked to, says you got it. You stay on the gas pedal. Don't let nobody tell you. Study your craft, become better, keep going, because you have to have that it factor. You just have to have it. I don't care. You can't be taught it. You have to have it. But there's more to it than that. And I tell anybody, I don't think I'm the greatest actor in the world. I will be one of the greatest, but not so much like it's not this regards to acting, but also changing somebody's life. I want to get into some more faith-based films. I want to be where someone is ready to commit suicide or somebody's ready to give up on life, and they watch the scene that I'm doing, and it hits them. Says, you know what? I'm putting the gun down. I'm putting the drugs down. You know what? I want to live another day. That's, to me, that's bigger than an Oscar. That's what I want. Oh, thank you, Stacey. Yep. Yeah.
So again, so this show it kind of picks up steam the longer it's on. But the thing about this particular show, this particular evening, is we started a little late. I'm grateful that you've taken this much time with me and my co-host and good friend Johnny. So I'm not going to keep you much longer. I definitely want to bring you back on the show. Just real quick, Stacey says she's one of the owners. Her husband, Douglas Spence, of 50 Garage. Thank you again, Stacey. Thank you, Doug. They're one of my sponsors. Again, as you can see there, my promo code is Stroman15. On their website at giftygarage.com, you'll get a 50% discount off of anything site-wide. So you go throughout the whole site, anything on there, you make a purchase. It's like an Amazon type of internet site. Go there. You even go there, bro. Like if you see something that you like.
I gotta go. I gotta support you. Yeah.
Yeah, man. You get a little discount. They have nice gear, real quality stuff. I grew up in Germany, so I bought the Germany soccer jersey when I saw it. This, however, was a gift. They gave it to me. So great people over there. But they're watching the show as well. And her statement is, The Righteous Gemstone is hilarious. Great show. And again, your story or your your energy was unexpected. I did not expect you to come onto the show and pull me in and pull my audience in the way you have. Not only did you teach us, educate us on what's going on in Hollywood, what has been going on, and now the pipe valve has been released, and people can get back to work. I'm not sure if people really understand how that affects people who are in the industry, in the acting industry, because they just watch TV. You know, it's just like, oh, it's a luxury. It's like I tell people all the time, it's like turn the light switch on. Oh, the lights on. You flick the switch, the light comes on. Back in the day, they didn't have light. You had to light a candle. You know, and if the candle went out, then you know what you gonna do. You need fire. So they don't understand what you do. They also don't know how many times they've actually seen you on TV.
I've had a lot of and that's funny because someone was like, Charles, did I see you in these scenes, Charles? Whatever. I say, look, I done been super swole, bulky. I done been down to where, you know what I mean? I done had a beard, I had a goatee. You know, I changed the looks up, man. You know, according to what they asked for. But I'm very grateful to everyone who supported SAG after who still supported. To all the fans. When I say fan, I'm talking about just for me. I'm talking about the fans of just the artist itself. Because if people don't buy the tickets, if they don't have buy the streaming services, if they don't, tune in for the ratings. I mean, us as actors and writers, directors. I mean, what are we doing it for? We're doing it for the people, and so I'm very grateful. I'm humble. Again, I'm just trying to become the best actor that I can, and in the process, change some lives according to what God wants me to do. And anybody out there who been second guessing your purpose, anybody who feel like that your family, your friends, anybody, constituents, whatever. They don't play your dreams. Get rid of them fast. Block them, because you don't need the type of people in your life. A lot of times we are chained from our purpose and have the key in our hand, but we're so much worried about what people might say. We stay locked up. I need for everybody to free themselves and go for it. If I can come from the streets of violence, talking about the real streets, none of this TV stuff, talking about the real life, and do all this time in prison, come out and do what I'm doing now. I'm just getting started. I have a beautiful daughter. Shout out to Sinead Clark, who's my everything. That's my heart. That's my heartbeat. And I got people that mentor me, that I learned from. So I'm grateful. I'm grateful. And real quick, I do have to get off. Shout out to Corey Callier. That's my good brother, mentor. People should know who he is. If they don't know, without Michael B. Jordan, without him, Michael B. Jordan wouldn't look like the way he looked on Creed. Without him, Jonathan Majors wouldn't look the way he looked it, and so on. He's the top of the food chain in the fitness industry. Shout out to him. Shout out to Andrew, aka Black Savage, and my other brother JB, the great support team, Circle of Brothers, along with many other brothers that I have. But I'm saying that to say that you have to have a good circle. And I always tell people, get rid of the nickels and have a dime. And what I mean is that a dime is smaller than a nickel, but it's worth more.
Mm-hmm. I love that. Can I ask you something before I let you go?
Yes, sir.
So I did go on your page and I scrolled, and there's a lot of fitness videos on there. So you've taken your exercise very serious, your health very serious. But it seems like, I think you mentioned it a little bit. It seems like there's a particular program. I think you just gave shots out to those individuals, if I'm not mistaken. Can you explain what's been driving you to kind of get in that kind of the shape that you're looking to be in?
Well, remember when I came out of prison, I was in my best shape. We all know. Well, most guys, if you come out of prison and look the same way you did when you came in, something wrong. Especially when you did years like I did. I always been to powerlifting, strong. If you look at I'm strong as an ox. You know what I mean? And then when people saw my size, they was like, hey, you could be the best, whatever, what. So I rode for it for a long time, and I found out, and sometimes when you have to portray something for a certain project, in the process, you neglect other areas of your life. So, believe it or not, when I was on Empire, people said, "Oh my God, this guy, he big, like shit, he's swole, like he can, maybe
he kind of look like shit a little bit."
Yeah, but I've been dropping weight, and I'm getting away from that. I was about 325 pounds. Now I'm way under 300. I'm getting to where I need to be. Um, I'm loving the journey. The final transformation is going to be it's going to be phenomenal.
I mean, it's going to be amazing.
Oh yeah. People already notice him. We look at my videos and my pictures. Like, wait a minute. What?
You can see the transition. All you got to do is scroll your timeline, top to bottom, as far as you want to go. I guess But
I'm going.
Where are you from originally?
So I was born in VA, but I moved to North Carolina when I was young. So that's actually where my testimony took place. So that was basically my previous home before going to prison. Okay. But always been back and forth. But North Carolina is my stepping ground as far as the big part of my testimony.
That's where your accent comes from.
I'm a farm guy. I mean, my granddaddy had a farm. My grandma had one. Also, there was this guy that stayed right up the street from us, walking distance. Some of them literally you can get to his house in like 20 seconds. Rest in peace, Henry Terry.
Yeah,
he was more like my godfather, whatever. But Henry Terry, because my dad died when I was a young age, he was one of the people in the neighborhood that came and took me up under his wing. Other than outside my granddad, of course, but outside of family, he was the one that taught me, about the values of working hard, providing for your family. I worked in the tobacco field, baling hay, combing the buck barn, livestock. I came up working hard, so I understand the foundation of doing that. That's why when people say, "How do you drive over to Chicago all of them hours? Yeah. You don't want to fly?" Well, first of all, I needed time with God. Those long drives, I need to talk to God. If I need to stop somewhere, use the bathroom, the plane ain't just gonna land if somebody in the bathroom or somebody sitting beside you getting on your nerves. Now, of course, let's be fair. If you got to get somewhere at a certain time, you got to take the airplane. You know what I mean? That's what it's for. But if I have time, if I got time, I don't mind driving, man, because we take life for granted, and a lot of us do. I've done it before. And sometimes we move so fast, we miss the most simple things in life. Yeah. The simplicity of life is beautiful.
I need to. So this is the Speak Your Mind show, all right? So and traditionally on this show, and let me try to say this a little so there's not much feedback. Traditionally on this show, I ask a really serious question, like along the sensitive nature of the sensitive nature of where you might choose to just plead the fifth, or you might say, nah, I can't answer that at this time. We're just pleading the fifth, or just say no or yes, which is what I'm hoping to hear now. But tonight I have two. My first question and request, if you will, to you, Mr. Clark, is you're so inspirational. I would love for you to come back on the show just as maybe a co-host one night to maybe interview someone else or to talk to someone else. Again, I know, some people in the industry as well, maybe another actor. You saw Bones came in. I'd love to have you on the show with Bones and hear you guys really chop it up about the industry and just life in general, because again, you touched me in this interview. So that is a question and a request. Would you? I have one more, but I'll let you answer this. Would you be willing to come back on the show and do something like that?
And it's funny because I had this conversation with 3 other people over the past couple of weeks. I will pray on it. And then the thing about it is that, like I said, co-hosting and I understand it. It's just like the interviewer interviewing, because you both speaking on a topic. It's just I've never been the co-host type person, but I will pray on it. I can assure you this: we brothers for a lifetime. So we'll talk.
I'm sorry. Finish your statement. Say that one more time.
No, I said we are brothers for a lifetime. So I said we definitely want to talk. Yes, I got much respect.
Appreciate that. And my second question is a question. Would you? And I know you mentioned it a little bit earlier in the conversation about what you'd be willing to do, and I explained. You can see my company name in the back there, Stroman Entertainment. Would you one day, if all the arrangements are correct and to your liking, be a part as an actor in a Stroman Entertainment production, film production?
I don't see no reason why not.
I love it. I love it. You know, and again, on the Speak Your Mind show, this is a platform. I give people this platform to talk. I'm not biased. I don't judge. Um, if you're going to have a show called Speak Your Mind, then you got to allow people to speak their mind. You can't try to water down the approach that they want to come at, or what they want to talk about, or why would you bring them on. And you were one of the best interviews I've ever had, period, hands down. Even my days, and I'm gonna bring you in real quick. Forget about the feedback. I don't care. Even my days at WCBM 680, which was a big broadcast radio station, I had a lot of interviews there too. And I tell you, you hit on a lot of things, and just the way you were able to compel me was powerful. And I'm sure my audience would say the same thing. So thank you for your time.
Oh, thank you as well. And yeah, just let me know, man. You got my direct number. You have my email. Let me know when you're ready for the beginning stages of that, and we'll talk. Actually, we could probably meet up somewhere, or or phone, whatever God leads to, for it to work out. We'll discuss. Let me know.
And thank you. And also, real quick, as we're wrapping up, one more time, tell people what we can look for from you as far as productions. Strikes been lifted, productions coming up that are upcoming. Again, everyone's back to work. And also just a finishing topic, something not necessarily topic, but something that you would like to say to the audience before we close out. You definitely touched on a lot already, which I felt like you were getting ready to close then. But yeah, productions that you got going on, something we can look out for, and some closing final thoughts from you.
Yes. So we have We the People by my guy Jay Sykes and Edwin, who's both directors, writers, filmmakers, producers, actors. We also have Dark 48 by Sherry McCain, that I already introduced her earlier. Also, we have Austin. I play this is my biggest bad guy role. I play billionaire crime boss named Jarrell Walker. Shout out to David Milks and Ramel Xavier, who also did a past movie with him too as well. Um, what I would say for my ending is you would never know unless you really know. And the way to really know, you have to really try. Speculation is probably one of the most weakest things that you can ever endure because it's not factual. It's not the ending of the story. It's not the ending of your purpose. Speculation is what it is, speculation. And I want people to stop speculating, stop thinking, stop dreaming. Because the worst dream you can have is someone who brings your dream to reality, and that's called a nightmare. So keep pounding the concrete, keep believing in yourself, keep having faith, and remember, if you keep giving God the glory, victory will always be your story.
Well spoken, and thank you again so much for your time. I could stay on with you because uh, the extensive stuff that you have here. When I say stuff, I'm talking about your resume, your portfolio, if you will. It's so extensive that I could go on as a director, as an actor myself, and being on both sides of the camera. I'm very impressed, and I want to continue. So we will obviously have another meeting of some sort, like you said, might meet up with you, chop it up with you, or definitely bring you back on the show. So thanks again, greatly for your time. Please be safe out there as you move forward uh, in the industry because it's a lot of travel. I need you to do that for me, for yourself, for your family, and for your fans, friends and fans likewise. Okay, and once again, Charles D. Clark, appreciate you, brother. You have a great evening.
You too. Salute.
See you, brother.
See you, brother. All right.
Good night.
Good night.
Wow. I tell you what, man, that gentleman right there, like people that know me know I'm a energy surveyor. That man's energy is running on an extreme high. Like his vibrations are through the ceiling. He people like that are healers. I consider myself a healer a lot of times as well. So I know the likeness when I see it, when I'm around it. And that's what Charles D. Clark is. I mean, that's a gentleman who is around the Hollywood type. You heard him talking about it. I mean, he's around people we've been seeing on TV and movies for years. People you would never think you would be in the same room, let alone having a drink with them or eating a meal. So he's done that. His resume, like I said, is so long. I'm just like I'm still looking at it. Like I keep clicking on things, and there's a new window that opens up. I'm like, Jesus, goodness gracious, and I appreciate that because I myself would that's what I always wanted. I wanted to be that. I wanted to be able to, um, you know, I don't know, just have the opportunity. That's bravery. That's changing your whole life. You're changing your whole life. You're catering your life, making sacrifices, family sacrifices, jobs, your whole livelihood to want to pursue a career that requires you to travel all over the place and never really be stable. And you can get a call at any moment. And, you're spending hours like Bones did, or Bones is right now, studying a script that you might not even get the gig. So think about that. You study for weeks on something that you might not even get the gig. So um, that is very, very I don't know, so many different words to use, but it's well for him, for me, listening to him, that's inspiring because of what he'd been through in his life, also being incarcerated to come out. It's a lot. It's a lot of pain. You heard him talk about his grandmother and the loss of his father. I know what that feels like. I've lost my father. I've lost my grandmother. And both of them I love dearly. So we got to respect each other, appreciate each other a lot more out there. I know there's a lot of selfishness going on, but we have to stop. And you know what? If you don't want to stop, that's fine. I mean, I get it. I get it. I get that. You're right, Troy. It's deep. He's deep, and the situation is deep. But we have to learn how to coexist with each other out there. There's enough room for all of us. But we have to learn how to coexist. And that's just my take on it. And I'm not going to go too deep in it this evening. But you heard him. There's a chance you might see Charles D. Clark in a Stroman Entertainment production or Fatherson production, if you will. So looking forward to linking up with him. Also, before we close the show. Again, you see it scrolling down the bottom now, down the bottom of the screen there. I'm an official now, sponsored by Gifty Garage. You'll be hearing me talk about it a lot. They do have some really nice quality stuff. Just go online, just go to giftygarage.com. If you see something that you like, you can use my promo code, which is Stroman15, for a 15% discount off of anything and everything that is site wide. What that means is no matter what it is, if it's on the site, you will get 15% off of it if you purchase it online. Okay, and 15% could really help, as a discount for stuff that's already rated pretty low. I did have, let's see here, I did have a screen up. Yeah, well, I wasn't 100% prepared. And again, sometimes these shows really take a lot out of me. Like talking to that man right there, like, somebody that's where he's at in Hollywood. Um, they don't always, like you said, would do shows like this. This is, yeah, it's a great show. I love my show. Thank you all who appreciate my show, all you out there that watch my show. But guess what? This is not the Oprah Winfrey Show, all right? Or any of those late night shows that are on network television. So that guy right there could be on a network television talk show at its highest echelon. So I'm very honored, and thank you, Troy Big Deuce Edwards, for directing Mr. Charles here to the Speak Your Mind show. And there will be other great guests coming because we have a great lineup to come. All right. So again, appreciate all your time out there. Um, Go over to Pull Like Johnny's. All right. Didn't give no shots out to Pull Like Johnny's. I know Johnny was on the show tonight, helping me co-host or helping host the show. But go on over there. That's 7216 North Point Road in Edgemere, Maryland. Go over there. They got a great menu going on over there. They too sponsor the show, by the way. My Speak Your Mind show. Get on over there. Get yourself a Pull Like Johnny sausage. They got a vast menu. Okay, which means it's not just sausages over there. They got they got onion rings, fries. They have mozzarella sticks. They have chicken tenders. Heck, they're even selling cheesecake over there right now, like really good cheesecake. And I was in there this evening, and the cheesecake's almost gone. So that means people are buying it up left and right. It's massive portions for I think like $5 or $7 or something like that. So I don't know if you know about cheesecake, but that's pretty good to get a big piece of cheesecake like that for that price. They're not cheating you over there. They're not, gouging or anything like that. Great prices over there. Also, get up to the Boulevard Diner in Dundalk, another one of my sponsors. Shout out to Mark over there. That's right at the intersection of Wise Avenue and Merritt Boulevard here in Dundalk, where I live. Get on up there. They have a variety. That's a full diner. I mean, they have everything top to bottom, and they have your adult beverage of your choice if you are into that. So, yeah, and before I go, shouts out to everybody I love, everybody who loves me. We got a lot of work left to do. Lots of films set up. We got a Baltimore Christmas Carol coming up, which I am acting in. That's just so much. I'm not even going to start that tonight. I think we'll pick that up on the next show, or just keep watching the feed, which is my feed, or anything attached to Johnny and myself, or James, or Jay Roberts over in the UK. Also, real quick, I just remembered tomorrow night, if you want to audition for Selena Polk's continuation of her first movie called First Lady, which is the sequel called Offspring, The Takeover. We are holding Zoom auditions tomorrow night at 7 p.m. All right. You probably, if you study me on Facebook, then you've seen that posted already. I'm going to repost it tonight again, probably, and all day tomorrow leading up till tomorrow night. That is a Zoom audition, which means you send me your email. I will send you a link. The whole feed will look just like what tonight's show looks like. Okay, except it won't be live. Um, yeah, it won't be live, but it'll look just like this. We'll talk. Selena will be there. I'll be there. We'll be, auditioning you. For the role, any role. It'll be basically what we call in the industry a cold read. Okay, cold read just means it's a cold read. You'll just read some lines that we give you, um, and just go from there. And that's it. That's it. Again, all that can happen through an email. So again, shoot me your email, and that's it. And be ready. Be ready for the feed, or excuse me, be ready for the link to be sent to you. All right. So that's it. It's almost 9 o'clock. Tomorrow's Friday. Much love to our veterans, my pops, my brother David, Much love to you, my cousin Pat. Much love to my cousin Pat. Everybody out there who's ever served uh, for any in any military anywhere. All right. Thank you for your service to your country. All right. Love you all. And almost ready to close out the show. Really appreciate everybody watched the show tonight. Y'all have a great Friday. Love you all. And good night.